So this what you gonna do for me when you hear me on the radio? I want you to know the house, I jump on the fence and climb up the tree and up on the roof and wave. We grateful for life, yeah. I want you to put on your best and don't wash your face. Shake up the stress, shake up the place and breath. Make we come alive and behave like we in the city. We jumping like we in the city. We waving like we in the city. Praising like we in the city. We dancing like we in the city. Singing like we in the city. So this what you gonna do for me when you hear this on the radio? I want you to know the house and jump on the fence and climb up the tree and up on the roof and wave. We grateful for life, yeah. I want you to put on your best and don't wash your face. Shake up the stress, shake up the place and play. Make we come alive and behave like we in the city. And we jumping like we in the city. We waving like we in the city. Yes, we dancing like we in the city. We praising like we in the city. Singing like we in the city. And we winning like we in the city. Don't you know that this is the stadium? Stadium. Inside is not for we want. Inside is not for we know. Inside is not for we. Come and stop me. Inside is not for we. We go down in the yard. Inside is not for we. Up on the fence. Inside is not for we. Side of the road. Inside is not for we. Turn up your radio. Inside is not for we. Bring the tenant come. Inside is not for we. We don't need that outside. Inside is not for we. Up in the street. Inside is not for we. Up on the road. I want you to put on your best and don't wash your face. Shake out the trap. Shake out the place and burn. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Dance like we in the city. We waving like we in the city. We praising like we in the city. We noisy like we in the city. Loving like we in the city. Bloody hard like we in the city. We winning like we in the city. From today this is the city. Sing again we in the city. I got we like we in the city. Just stop we like we in the city. We winning like we in the city. Energy like we in the city. Energy like we in the city. I say we in the city. I say from today this is the stadium. Stadium. Inside is not for we. Inside is not for we. Yeah, yeah, man.
Oh, I think now you guys are hearing me. Are you hearing me now? Just give me a thumbs up if you hear me now. Sorry about that. But again, welcome to this Soca Monarch review. I'm going to be talking with some of the artists from last evening's Soca Monarch. Of course, we started you off there with the winning Soca Monarch, Samuel Madis, a gospel singer, psalmist, who decided to enter the Soca Monarch this year and walked away not only as the best newcomer, but also walked away as the Soca Monarch of Guyana. His first time in the competition and him walking away with that. So we'll be talking with Samuel Madis in just a bit. We're going to tell you more about him for some of you who might not know him because you might not be paying attention to the Word of God and gospel music. But he's been doing his thing in the gospel arena, winning awards not only in Guyana but across the region and further afield. So we'll be talking with Samuel Madis later on in just a bit. So the Soca Monarch last evening was big. They came live from the National Cultural Center. I stayed up for the entire thing. Usually, in previous Soca Monarchs, they would keep it either the National Park, and I think there was one or two at Durban Park. And usually, the Soca Monarch would go on and on and on, and 3 o'clock in the morning, you're still waiting for a monarch to be crowned. But because, of course, with COVID and everything else that has been happening, they did the monarch competition virtually this year. So they had it at the National Cultural Center with the judges, lights, camera, technical teams, dancers, and so that was about it. And very few invited guests to look on at the competition. So they had all the spacings and so right. And it was beamed into our homes. So many of us, either watched it on the computer or we watched it on a TV set or on our phones because we were comfortable and we enjoyed it. And so within 2 hours, by 11:30, minutes to 12, we were good to go. So Monarch was already crowned. We had Samuel Madis coming out as the winner of the competition. Placing second was Calypsonian Diana Chapman, and she's also taken part in the Soca Monarch about 2 or 3 times before. So she's not a newcomer. She's been in it before, and she's placed in the top 5 before. She placed second. Newcomer in the Soca Monarch this year is another former Calypsonian monarch. She's former junior Calypso monarch, Tanisha de Freitas. Her stage name is Nikita. And over the years, the thing about it is that over the years, she's been doing the backup singing for the Soca Monarch competitions. She was working with the Heatwave band, and they had all the contracts for the Soca Monarch over the years. And so she was the one doing the background vocals or the backup vocals for the various artists. And so she said this year she decided to step to front. And so she got involved in the competition under the stage name Nikita, and she emerged in the third position. A 4-time monarch, Jomo placed fourth in the competition. He was actually hoping to win the crown again this year, making it his 5th time, but that didn't happen. He won 4 crowns before, and so he's been dethroned. We're going to try making contact with Jomo a bit later on to find out if this is retirement, if this is a packing up and leaving that persons have been talking about, when it's time for him to pack up and leave the Soca Monarch alone. So we're going to be talking about that too. I'm going to try to get on to Kwesi Ace, a former Soca Monarch, find out why he's not been around in the competition for a number of years. And Raw Tony, sports journalist and he also reports entertainment. He was there in the audience watching on last evening. So he's going to take us inside the National Cultural Center last evening to give us a look at that. But that wasn't the only monarch last night. There was also the Chutney Monarch, which started first. That got started around 7:30 last evening. Kevin Satrahan Singh came out as the winner in that competition. Congratulations to him. Bunty Singh, who was last year's monarch, he placed second, and third place was the poor girl, Vanita, coming in second. Vanita, and I was actually expecting Vanita to place higher. I had Vanita to win the crown, to be quite honest. I watched back at her performance today. I was like, how did she not at least get second? But she got third, and I was not part of the judging panel. The judge's decision is final. You respect that, and so you move on. But she did a really good performance last evening. Everything was on point. So I was a bit surprised that she was not first or second, but she got third in the competition, and this was her first time in the competition too. So good for her. Her husband was also in the competition. He didn't place among the top 3. But congratulations to them too. So we're going to be talking about some of those artists in the Chutney Monarch too. But listen, I want to start us off by giving you guys, for those of you who probably missed it last night, taking you back to inside the National Cultural Center. You're going to see me watching away every now and then. I'm doing like a double roll here, switching between videos and all of that. So let me take you back to last evening inside the National Cultural Center. This is Samuel Madis and his winning performance.
I want you to play. Woo! I wish we could have come here, but we can't. I wish we had no fear. So we dance, stuck on the inside, missing the outside, wishing freedom will come again. Cause inside is not for it. We got too much energy. So this what you gonna do for me when you hear me on the radio. When you run out the house and jump on the fence and climb up the tree, up on the roof and well, we break up for life, yeah. When you put on your best, don't back the fence, shake up the stress, shake up the place. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, that's like we in the stadium. We in the stadium. We in the stadium. We in the stadium. I get to know. We jumping up. I get it up. Don't you know that? I know we had a tough year, but we blessed. Daddy, he promised that he would take care. Say less. Forget the problems, we not gonna worry. We gonna be grateful every day. Cause inside is not for me. We got too much energy. So this what you gonna do for me when you hear me on the. I want you to run out your house and jump on the fence, climb up the tree, up on the roof. We grateful for life, yeah. I want you to put on your best. Shake out the stress, shake out the place. 1, 2, 3, that's right. Yeah, we jumping high. Yeah, we praising high. Misbehaving high. Yeah, we dancing high. Winning high. Listen. What? Oh no. COVID not stop here. We go tongue in the yard. Up on the fence. Side of the road. Pull up your radio. Bring it in the cup. We don't need none of that. Hey. Come. I want you to put on your best. Don't watch the face. Take off the chest. Take off the blessing. Hey, you know. We jumping high. We praising high. We singing high. We praising high. What? Everybody say, we get the set. I can't do this without Facebook, hold on. I gotta get my Facebook friends on here. There we go. S.E. Quimbo. Linden. Matica. S.E. Quimbo. Let them. West Coast. East Coast. Yeah. See, side is not for where. 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 Put on your best. Shake up the stress. There we go. 1, 2, 3. That's like we jumping high. We praising high. We in there. We in there. We in there. Well, good night, Soca Monarch. I know it's not the regular face that you see on a stage like this, but I didn't come for the money. I didn't really come for the crown. Come to deliver a message. And the message is this: that Guyana, we need to live like we at the stadium. Because at the stadium, there's no black, there's no coolie, there's no buck, there's no white. When we footballers score a goal, it's pandemonium, right? And when we cricketers carry all the way to the finals and throw away the game, we be a bad man, we quarrel. But at the end of the night, we make sure that we good. And that's how we're supposed to live. If you love Guyana and you want for unity, let me hear you say, we in the stadium. We in the stadium. We in the stadium. I want to hear you, Facebook. Type it up. Reload. I know we had a tough year. Reload. I know people that started 2020 and didn't make it to June. I got friends that started this year with me and didn't make it to tonight. 2 days after I released Stadium, a sister from my church died. I dedicate this song to anybody and everybody who suffered a loss over this year. I know there are people that are sitting in the audience, people that are watching me on television and Facebook, and you lost your job. You don't know what you're gonna do. But God sent me in this soul. Come on up to give you one message. You know what the message is? Alright, alright, alright. You gonna be alright. Alright, alright. Alright, alright. Jesus said you gonna be alright. Let me go. Let me go. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Yeah, we jumping high. That's it. Sing your name. That's it. What else? Read on. You see after tonight? So come on, that will not be the same. Ego says this in church boy came. I didn't come here looking for fame. Every house will go to know mine. I sorry for Jomo. After tonight, you's not the king no more. I just want to teach you can't trample. I'm making you one example. Take your props, stay home. Outside is very dark. I just so come on up. Prisoner. Well, I know. Give it out right now. Tropical, use a no-brainer. Stop passing me like a stranger. You say you're going to court. If you lose, then go and get your liars on restraint. Perfect timing, but you were walking them without whining. I'm gonna put on your best. Don't want the best. Shake off the stress. 1, 2, 3. That's right. We jump it in. We sing it in. Praise the Lord. I'm a Christian. If you're Jesus, one coming in. We coming back. One more time. Energy, 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 energy. I said, this is the stadium.
His name is Samuel Madis, and that is the reigning Soca Monarch, the new Soca Monarch of Guyana. And we're going to have Samuel joining us now. Live from, I figure he got their home. It's not in the stadium. So we got Samuel joining us live. Hey Samuel, good afternoon. How you doing? Think you might need to unmute your mic.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. How you doing? Congratulations.
I'm good, man. Thank you.
What's going on, buddy?
They easy, my buddy. Just trying to, come to terms with the reality that I'm the monarch.
How does it feel? That's the first thing. How does it feel? You know, you've been on stage before. You've performed all across the Caribbean and North America. You've been places on stage performing. Was this any different?
It was very different because everywhere that I've performed, every major place that I've performed, it's always in a Christian setting. That's the first thing. I was at some gospel show, so you know what vibe to expect. And it's never a competition kind of environment. This has been so different for me, kind of like culture shock. And it started MASH night when I was at the stadium when I performed. And, everybody around me drinking. Nice, the only church boy down there. I mean, everybody drinking, everybody having a fun time. I was like, nah, this is a different environment. Even leading up to the Soca Monarch, sometimes backstage and sometimes at the band room, you could feel this tension and this animosity that you can't put your finger on or point to anybody, but you feel it there. I was like, okay, this is a different ball game for me. So I realized that I had to fortify my mental space and don't let nobody get inside of there. And that's what I did.
Because, and you said something last evening after you were crowned the winner, and you were talking with DJ Casual. You said that there was a point in the lead up to the competition where you were actually thinking about giving it all up, walking away from the competition. Why was that? Why did that cross your mind?
Remember when you interviewed me when I performed at AG, I told you, I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And that's the truth. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to listen to them. But the fact of the matter is some people's opinion are heavier than some. And man, I got some messages from people who I least expected to really come against me being in the Soca Monarch. They made me really sit down and I said, why, Sam, you really hear from God or this is just selfish ambition or something? And I remember one day I pulled up at the side of Marriott in my car because I was feeling the pressure of this. I don't want to be the outcast of the church. And I called Pastor Sills. I said, Pastor Sills, talk to me. Let me know if I'm doing a wrong thing here. Or is it? And, he spoke to me and encouraged me. He said, Sam, you go and do what you got to do. And if you're in the right, people are going to defend your name. You don't have to go and answer everybody that you like answer people in the comments on your Facebook page. but I don't have that luxury. And I'm glad that I didn't. And I was going into the competition knowing that I had a message that I wanted to deliver, but I couldn't justify it beforehand and tell everybody, no, I'm going in because I have a message to deliver. So I had to take the shots and roll with the punches.
Yeah. Because that's the thing I was thinking about too. And I remember years ago you asked me about whether you should go into Soca Monarch, and I said,
Yeah.
no, because you probably thought I was thinking you weren't good enough for the Soca Monarch. But at that
Mhm,
time, you were now branching out on a bigger stage
mhm,
in the gospel arena. I
mhm.
think you were just coming out with Royalty, and the Heart to
Yeah.
Heart album was before that.
Mhm.
And so you were
Yeah,
you
you're right.
were
You're right.
really
You're
doing
right.
well in
You're
the
right.
church. You were
Yeah.
performing well in the church. And I remember when you said you're thinking about this Soca Monarch thing. I said, no, I don't think you're ready for this thing as yet. But in my mind, I was saying, I don't think he's ready, not for the stage, but ready for the backlash that might come from the
But
Christian
you were right.
community.
You were absolutely right. What I didn't say when I mentioned it on the interview when you were talking to me is that you weren't the only person that said to me, nah, don't go in there. Because mentally I would not have been prepared for that slaughter. I mean, being at the band room and other artists are rehearsing and calling your name while they're rehearsing and freestyling and doing their thing. I was like, oh, this is it. Like if I had done this a couple years ago, it probably would not have ended well.
Yeah. But now you appear more mentally ready for this sort of competition. But
Yeah,
there's still
man.
those out there who might say, you know what, we're happy he won. We wish him well. But a man of God, a psalmist, someone who preaches, singing under the banner of 592 Beer, and the artists before and after come out singing wine and joke, and you're stuck in the middle there trying to bring out, survive.
Mhm.
What do you say to the folks who might be having that thought that this really should still not be the place for a gospel singer?
Well, today I went to church, right? I got up and I
Uh,
went to church. And my pastor, who happens to be my dad, he had a conversation with me after church today. And that was so heartfelt. Because he didn't even give any kind of opinion concerning me being the Soca Monarch except give his blessing and let me go. Um, but he was telling me about Jesus and how controversial Jesus was. And at the end, everything that he did was justified. He didn't have
yeah,
to explain himself to people. He went and he ate with the people that everybody else thought was not worthy. He went and he rescued the prostitute, the woman caught in the act of adultery. He was the friend of publicans and the friend of sinners. And I think I think that in the church circle, we get so accustomed to having celebrities within the church circle that we plateau off and we don't realize that we have to take the gospel into places that have not heard it. It's not about us celebrating and shining this light in each other's face and blinding one another because it becomes a competition in the church too. When everybody is fighting for space inside the church, and God is saying, go into a place, carry hope. I can only hope that the message that I delivered last night was received. And I know it was because people started messaging me like, yo, I lost my job. I lost my father last December, and I needed to hear that God say it gonna be all right. No matter that you did it on a soca stage or a soca beat, I received it, and for me, that made it worth it.
and I was looking last night and monitoring what some folks were saying on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and two things stood out to me this morning when I did the same thing again. Uh, there was a young worship leader in one of the local churches who
Mm-hmm.
was talking about him and the worship group having a viewing party last night to celebrate you being in the competition.
Yep.
And then I saw Cassidy, your good, your good, your good buddy Cassidy, wishing you well and saying that the church has the talent and putting that forward there. And I thought that was good because, of course, it's no secret that there've been issues
Mm-hmm.
um, between yourself and Cassidy in the past. So I thought that was a
Mm-hmm.
good thing,
Mm-hmm.
that he was showing full support, and I saw other gospel artists also showing support, and a lot of people in the Christian community. Some of them probably missed church this morning because they were up late, but they were out
Yeah,
there celebrating. What does that mean to you?
it means a whole lot. Um, because because if they can do that and they can display that level of camaraderie, it gives me hope for the others that are coming behind me that will feel that they need to go outside of the walls of the church, the four walls of the church, and take this gospel, and they won't feel like they're gonna be crucified for it. Because all of us can't do this inside of the church. I honestly, there was a point where I fed up a gospel concerts because it's the same face you're seeing over and over at every single event. Everybody paying the $1,000, the $1,500, going to the event, and we're doing the same thing over and over. But it gives me hope for the younger ones that are coming after me that okay, if Sammy did this and he had this kind of support and he did it in excellence and he represented Christ the way he did, then we can do it too.
And that is important to also put that out there so people understand that. So you were you were talking about being in the band room and hearing some of the other artists in that
Mm-hmm.
little last verse where they
Yeah,
do their freestyle thing, and you
yeah.
hearing them rehearsing with your name.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel got to pray, stay in the church, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. What was it like for you? Because though you've been on stage performing, I can't remember you being in a competition setting,
Mm-hmm.
especially one at this stage nationally.
Mm-hmm. Um, so first of all, Brandon was throwing mad shots at me when he was singing right here, tell Sammy stay home. Da, 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 da. I was like, all right. I didn't even know you do this while your competitors are right in that space. Um, but before I was known, me and my cousin and all of we growing up, even in secondary school, we'd always clash out. So we'd
Mm,
always have things to throw at one another. So this was nothing new for me. I know that they were gunning for me, and I was gunning for everybody. Trust me, I had lyrics for everybody. Um, but I decided not to because I didn't want the only thing I'd be remembered for is when I shell out against Brandon and Jomo and all of them. I didn't want that to cloud the message. But had like if I had put like number 8 or number 9 and all of them had come for me, I would have come back for every one of them. Trust me. In the spirit of just camaraderie and competition, outside of that, I ain't in trouble nobody, but nothing that they got sue me for. But I loved it.
yeah. And you were in a competition last evening with some returning monarchs. We had Malo, who's a former monarch. We had
Yeah.
Brandon, who was a two-time monarch. We had Jomo, of course, a four-time monarch. Diana
Mm-hmm.
Chapman, Calypso monarch, former junior monarch.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Tennessee the Freitas, Nikita, former junior monarch. And then you have other artists who perform in bands and on cruise lines and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Did it ever cross your mind during your preparation for the competition that I might now be winning this?
Yeah. Very, very early. Very, very early. Because one, I mean, I know I had the favorite song in the competition because I got out to the blocks early. What people told me from the get-go garden, don't feel that a nice song will make you win this competition. You got to perform, Sammy. So Sammy get up every single morning and start running at 6 something in the morning, run the whole block to get my stamina up. Um, Ah, I like Nikita and her vocals are crazy. The color of her vocals are amazing. So I know that if it came down to singing, it gonna be me and she ding dong. I know Jomo is the king of the stage. Um, and I saw him throwing taunts, like he doing lives with Kunchi and saying, "Don't worry with them, let us jump up on the fence." So I was like, all right, trying to get into my head here. Diana Chapman, she kind of surprised me because I don't know her very well. And every time I have encountered her, it was around the band and they're always joking and clowning, but her persona when she came onto the stage was a totally different thing last night. I was sitting at the back watching. I was like, oh, this is not the same person. And to see her when it was her turn to turn on the screen and show the videos and the guys fumbled and couldn't find her video, but she still bounced back after that and come back to the front and give a performance and talk about celebrating International Women's Day. I was like, nah, we got competition in this place tonight. But I feel like my presence in the competition really did a thing because it caused everybody to up their game, like really, really up their game. Come swinging down. We had fancy colored sneakers and paint up the face and all of that. You know, I felt like I accomplished the mission that I was in the competition for.
And you will be defending the crown next year.
Nah,
Huh?
no, nope.
No?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
No, because this was just this. I am not a Soca person, God. And you know this, so everybody knows it.
So why enter the
Um,
competition?
because I wanted to raise the standard of what we do in Guyana. I'm on to the next thing. In a couple of days, I'm be dropping the next song, and I can show you. So since entering into the Soca Monarch competition, when I dropped that song, I was on to the next thing. I've been shooting videos, I've been recording. Um, because one of my mentors said the purpose of everything you do and the every success that you pursue is to create momentum for the next thing. So I'm just using this momentum of being this in the Soca Monarch and getting into a whole new circle of people who never before heard of Samuel Madis to drop something else, something that I believe in, which is gospel music and reggae music.
So was this hearing you say that no, you wouldn't be competing again in the competition? This was just this and you're done with that.
Yeah, this is what it was.
But is it a case where you were trying to prove a point that look, I'm the biggest gospel singer in Guyana, I'm well known across the Caribbean, and the only hill that I haven't climbed is this Soca Monarch thing I keep hearing about. Let me go prove a point that I can win this too and move on.
No, man, I don't, especially in the kingdom, I don't believe any of us can be judged by how big we are as a gospel artist, how much likes, how much views we have. We're judged by our assignments and our ability to tell God yes and do what He wants us to do. So this wasn't a flex. The guy, the producer that sent me, I had no idea that I would go into the Soca Monarch until somebody sent me a song track, and I heard it. I was driving, and the moment I heard those steel pans, I wasn't even interested in the track. But the moment I heard those steel pans in the beginning, I saw myself in the stadium. I saw myself in the Soca Monarch. I saw what the video was supposed to sound like. And I felt like if it was as if God was birthing something inside of me to say, yo, you have to be in the Soca Monarch this year. Like I told you, Garden, I don't like controversy. I don't like contention. So if it was up to me, I would not be in the Soca Monarch.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like I would not be in the Soca Monarch if I didn't feel the go ahead from the Lord to go inside of it, because I know what the backlash would have been. So it wasn't a flex thing. It wasn't.
No, but listen, Samuel. I think if you're gonna say you enter to raise the standard of this competition, you can't just do that in 1 year.
Yeah? Are
Why?
you serious?
No,
Gordon.
I think personally, and you know I'm always real with you. I think you
No.
performed exceptionally well last night. I think you brought together the believers and the non-believers, and you for that moment, people were backing Samuel Madis. And
All
I
right, so
think,
listen.
I think people might feel, well, at least me, sort of feel
Mhm.
cheated if this king does not move forward and at least defend his crown once and say,
All
well,
right, so
listen, this wasn't a fluke last year. This was me coming out and giving you my best. And I'm here again to give you my best.
so when I said raise the standard, that is not something that happens in a one time, like you said. But it's a start. If I could be the catalyst, if I could be the lighter that sparks a change, that makes people say next year we gotta come harder than this, then I've already done my part. And this is outside of me being a gospel artist. This is me being a Guyanese artist that travels and goes places. And when I tell people I'm from Guyana, it's like, who are the artists you got in Guyana that's Guyanese? Because we never play nobody that's Guyanese. And they're now hearing. So me forcing every other competitor in the Soca Monarch to go back to the drawing board and say, nah, Sammy's come hard, the manga hard song, we got their hard presentation. And all of us have 7 minutes on stage. Soca
Yeah.
Monarch don't normally be 7 minutes. But in 7 minutes, everybody brought their A game. Well, most of us brought their A game. If everything went well, all of us would have brought our A game to the stage. And that has already taken, and you see it in the comments. People said, nah, this is the best Soca Monarch that they've ever experienced. And next year is only going to get better, whether Sammy is there or not. I know Brandon kind of vexed when I told him that I'm not going back in the
Or
competition.
is it
Quit.
or is it Sammy that you're afraid? You don't want to come out not winning.
It was never about winning in the first place, Garden. And I know you're trying to pick my mouth, but like I
No,
said,
listen. I have a problem, right? When someone enters a competition and
uh,
they say, "Oh, it was never about winning." You don't enter a competition. The nature of being in a competition is to win or lose. You don't enter a competition to prove your vocal skills.
no,
You
I
enter a
entered this
competition to
competition
win.
because I entered this competition because I was led to enter this competition because it was a different circle of people that had not before known Samuel Madis. That's my reason for getting into there, because the gospel goes before everything, every other agenda that I have. It was never about going into the competition, and I'm not afraid of nobody.
I think
And
you're
to
afraid of
be honest,
I think you're afraid of the controversy. You went
you
through. You you got some biblical licks from some of your brethren and sisters in the church, and you don't want to ruffle feathers again next year.
No, man, I have grown some very tough shoulders. And even some of the people that came against me, they messaged me through the course of the night and into today and said, nah, I retract everything that I said. I didn't know what you were going to do. So I'm fine with that. But my focus really, I just want to get to travel again, Garden. I'm not really into the competition. I just want the airports to be open again, to be able to travel again, because that is where my eyes are on. That's where I set my sights, not in a competition competing with Guyanese artists.
See if the Lord speaks to you and says, Sammy, I'm not done with you yet.
If he says, then I back in the competition. So
you get 9 souls, the 9 souls you could save.
Yes. If I feel led to go into that, this is my thing. If I feel led to go back into the competition next year, I will. But me not going back is not a matter of me being afraid.
Yeah. Congratulations. I remember years ago when that's the first time I saw you on Facebook, and and you were my Facebook friend. I just saw this message popped up where you were announcing that you were going to dedicate the rest of your life to musical ministry, that you were going to become a psalmist. And I thought to myself, you had to be in your late teens or at least early 20s then.
Correct.
And I saw the status, and that's when I started really paying attention to who is this young kid who, instead of doing what people might be doing, you know, getting a steady job and whatever, he's deciding to choose gospel music. He's deciding to focus on that only. I was actually taken aback by that. And I started following you then. I started listening to your music then, and I've been doing it since then. And I must say, I'm very impressed. And I want to wish you all the best. I know there are great things and better things to come from Samuel Madis.
It means a lot coming from
I hope I'm going to see you in the Soca Monarch this year. You got to bring me outside the stadium. And we really went in the stadium. So we went to the house, pretending to be in the stadium. So I'm hoping that when we do return to the stadium, that you're going to be there also to, you know, take us through and really bring that good music.
Yeah, but who knows? Even if I don't come back, you might find 5 other gospel artists in the competition. You'll never know.
I think you're running from controversy, honestly. I think you have broad shoulders, yes, but I think you avoid problems. You see something ahead that could bring a problem, and you do a right turn or a left turn, and you try to avoid it.
I do, and I don't think that that's a problem, because if me getting into something is going to cause more confusion, and I don't have the platform to bring a resolve to it, and I'm going to just leave people in confusion, then I would draw back. I now make nobody sin and leave the church and all of that, and got pastors cussing me down and throwing shade all day. And about that life. Had a time when Sam used to follow up all these madness. I don't have the energy for it right now. I got bigger fish to fry.
I know you catch good sense where you see Carnival return and the song Stadium come on, man, and you see the crew behind a big truck.
I can't do nothing about that. I have considered it. I know I can't do anything about it.
Now. Wait till Guyana Carnival come back and I get 2 big truck coming down for St. John. We in the stadium. You see one foot fly up and yes, the Lord.
I wonder if Jomo gonna be on the truck there.
It's always good talking with you, Samuel. And I want to wish you all the best. Congratulations. Again, it was a well-deserved win.
Thank you.
And what I liked about, to me, the best part of your performance, and there were many good parts, but to me, the best part of your performance was when you turned to that video screen and you did that bit where you brought in those pieces of your supporters over the months, and so that they've been dancing and celebrating this song. I thought it was a good tribute to them.
Yeah, we did it like a week before. Listen, Garden, I have a team of literal amateurs. You understand? But they're the kind of people, if I say I want this, they're going to exhaust every option before they tell me that's impossible. So I hit up my crew. I said, listen, I want videos from y'all looking like y'all dancing in front of a webcam. We're going to put it together. I thought that was just a brilliant piece of thing to put together. Because a lot of people actually thought that it was Facebook live on the screen.
Yeah, some people probably got angry. How come I'm not popping up there?
Yeah.
But thanks a lot again, Sammy. Best wishes again. Look forward to hearing great music and more music from you. You know, we're going to be dancing in the church and thing. But let me know where you're singing the song in the church. I commit to dust on this service.
All right, cool.
You just give me You just whisper the word, say, 9 o'clock, so place, a
All
singing
right, cool.
stadium.
Yeah, my
Turn
buddy.
up the Sunday
Bless.
church. Thanks a lot, Sam. It was great
Yeah,
having
man.
you on today. And
Bless.
again, the best wishes and congratulations.
Thanks.
That is Samuel Madis, and of course, you can follow him on Facebook. You can follow him on Instagram. You can follow him on all the social media sites to keep in tune with what he's been doing and what he will continue to do. But that is the new Soca Monarch of Guyana, Samuel Madis, a young gospel singer, uh, young psalmist, and I know many of you might know the song Royalty. My daddy is a king, so I am royalty. Yep, that's a Samuel Madis and Overflow and Heart to Heart and all the good hits. So you've got to support the art form too. He's got music on all the musical platforms. His gospel songs, his gospel albums. He's got quite a number of albums out there. So go to those platforms, buy his music, support what he's been doing because uh, like many artists, it's been a tough year for them because they survive on live shows and traveling, and all that came to a screeching halt last year when COVID started, and it's still here with us. And so, we want to support them and really push them. And so, I want to encourage you to go follow him, Samuel Madis, on any of the social media platforms. If you're big into gospel music or you're big into good music generally, look for him on those platforms, whether it's iTunes or Spotify, whichever one you like to go shop. But buy his music and support his art form. So that was Samuel Madis. Okay, so Diana Chapman from my hometown of Linden came in second in the competition. The Soca Monarch competition continues to dodge Diana Chapman. She's a former junior Calypso Monarch, a former senior Calypso Monarch. She's actually, get this, she's actually the first junior Monarch to transition into the senior Monarch competition and walk away with the crown. Because a couple of years ago, they decided that once you win the junior Monarch title, Calypso Monarch, you get automatic entry into the semifinals of the senior competition. And of course, once you qualify, you make it to the finals. A couple of years back, she did just that. She won the Junior Calypso Monarch, qualified for the semifinals, made it to the finals as the youngest artist on stage, and she walked away with that Calypso crown. So she is a former junior Monarch and a former senior Monarch. But the Soca thing has been dodging her a bit. We've been trying to get onto her. We've not been able to make contact as yet. Diana, you can hit me up if you're seeing this. I've been trying to call you, and we keep going to voicemail like you're tired. I ain't sure what's going on. Anyway, we're going to take you back to last evening. This is Diana's performance last evening inside the National Cultural Center. Let's go to Diana Chapman.
All the pets I don't miss, all the fans them out there. Oh Lord, I miss them days. To all the promoters them, I want to feel the vibes again, yeah. I wanna make them wine on the stage behind the truck in the fest. I wanna make them wine on the stage behind the truck in the fest. I wanna make them wine on the stage behind the truck in the fest. I wanna make them wine on the stage. Me know, let me on the stage again, Lord. Let me jump up with the fans, them bring the vibes in every party. Let me in the bed again, Lord. Let me wind up with my friends. Bring a vibe that never ends. Yeah. We ain't going nowhere. We stay invited. We love it soca. Don't want this thing to over. Nowhere. We stay invited. We stay so proud, we smile. We love to get on. I can't wait to touch your road. Who wait to touch the stage now? Oh Lord, I miss the days. When I wind up and I want to jump up if I want to. With my fans them out there. Bring back them old time days. When we used to bet and we used to ram a day. I want to hear you say. Tell them to come on in. On the stage behind the drum. I wanna make them wine on the stage behind the drum. I wanna make them wine on the stage behind the drum. I wanna make them wine. Hear me now, let me on the stage again.
fans in front of me, man. I wish I could see you right now and feel the energy in front of the stage, but I can feel you through the line. Send up the hearts, send up the hearts. We're gonna go to the screens right now, and we're gonna reflect on the days, all right? There we go. Miss them days, miss them days. Miss them days, miss them days. Oh Lord, I miss them days. Miss them days, miss them days. Oh Lord, I miss them days, miss them days. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I wanna make them wine on this stage behind the drum in the bed. I wanna make them wine on this stage behind the drum in the bed. I wanna make them wine on this stage. We claim it as International Women's Month. One day is not enough. Ladies, we can achieve anything we want to achieve. Shout out to Shani G, shout out to Big Red, who showed us that we can do it. We can be Soca Monarchs, all right? All right, ladies, set up the hearts. Hear me now, ladies. A win for one is a win for all. They ain't stopping us, this is war. Ladies can achieve it all, so I do it for us all. Send Jomo back in the house, leave some at the stadium. Tell them it's my year. My Lord, wrong time you come, we gon' beat them bad. 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 We gon' beat them bad.
Sorry about that. That was Diana Chapman with her piece called Stage in the Soca Monarch 2021, bringing her in second place. Congratulations to Diana Chapman. Hopefully, she's able to join us before we wrap things up. Okay, so Diana Chapman placed second in the competition. Sorry, coming in third was a young lady who is no stranger to the stage, but she was a newbie in this competition. Her name is Nikita. Her government name is Tanisha de Freitas. You know, Mama, I don't want to be born. Excuse the voice. Excuse the voice. Yeah, she's going to probably sing better for us later on. But I'm going to go to Nikita's performance, and then we're going to have a little chit chat with Nikita in just a bit. All right, this is Nikita.
Let's go. everything you ready for the party. DJ play that tune now. Let's keep it pumping. The curfew it's time, no. So Sam is behaving. Russell, hey. So come here, bounce, play all your Fanta. You can party, drink your Fanta. Oh, let's celebrate life. Bring on the big truck and the push cat. I wait now in your shot, everything nice. I'm feeling the vibes again. It's so alive again. So don't tell me that I can't misbehave. Feeling the vibes again. I feel so alive. Hey, so don't tell me that I can't misbehave. Hey, I'm feeling the vibes again. It's so alive again. Don't tell me that I can't misbehave. Good evening, Soca Monarch. Anybody feeling the vibes right now? Want you send some flames up in the comment section. Send it up. We celebrating life tonight. Say if you're happy to be alive. Say, I feel in the vibes. I feel so alive. Don't tell me I can't. I love it. I feel you, Soca Monarch. And I know you wish you were here. But right now is the time for you to love and celebrate with each other. Because life is short. And you never know when it's gonna be your time. We're gonna do something right now for the millions that have lost their lives to this dreaded pandemic. We wanna remember them in our celebrations right now. Listen. Those who are past, you're so forever. We celebrate you in this festival. Those who are past, you're so forever. We're gonna take control for them.
Hey, Nikita, how are you doing? I'm not hearing you. You might want to unmute your microphone up there.
Hear me now?
I'm hearing you now. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Your first outing in the competition. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually in the middle of a photo shoot right now with 100 Degrees Fashion, so I'm a bit, all.
You're doing your thing.
I'm doing my thing. Shout out to 5 Minutes with Fabulous Makeup. We on bleak over here.
So I got a big admission to make.
All right.
So remember last week I interviewed you on the radio on Jumpstart.
Uh-huh.
And I've been listening to your song since it came out.
Uh-huh.
Playing it every morning. We've been jiving it in the studio. enjoying the vibes. I even been listening to vibes home, and I had no clue that this Nikita is Tunisia de Freitas. So
She is.
I was sitting there doing the interview, and I
Yes.
remember I asked you some question, and you said, "Oh, you know, a lot of people still hold you to the I don't want to be born twice."
Yes.
And I'm like stunned. I'm like, "Is this a person?"
Yes, yes, I am her, she is me, and we are here.
Oh wow! Congratulations, Nikita.
Thank
Congratulations, Tunisia de Freitas.
you. Yes,
That's that's the person I know. I mean, you did
thank
so well in the competition last year. And as I mentioned in the story I wrote about the competition, I said Nikita had the best vocals on stage.
you.
Had it been a competition where they were just judging vocals, Nikita would have been walking away as the champion because I think your vocals were on point last night. They were just exceptional. You did not miss a beat, did not miss a note. And
Thank you
so I
so much.
congratulate you for that. But what was this like for you? Because the last time you were in a competition was in the Junior Calypso Monarch, if I'm correct.
Yes, that was since 2012. It's been
That was a
years.
long time ago.
um, it was, oh my gosh, it was so exciting. I was actually enjoying the process because I've been around Soca Monarch for so long. I've seen, I've been a background vocalist. I've been performing as a background vocalist for the competition for the past, 20 years. I lost count. And so I've seen what the competition is about, and I know, I understand everything what it's about. That doesn't say that, I had an easy task because it's soca. And when adrenaline hits you and it's soca, you never know what could happen. So it was a great experience. And like you said, for me, it's about, I was working on singing a lot too, because it's very hard for a lot of artists to, do all of that commotion on stage and still have the stamina to sing. So that was something I was really focusing on in preparation to ensure that I can run and jump all over the stage and still be able to deliver. And you may not know this, and nobody knew this, but I was not well last night. I haven't been well for the past couple of weeks.
Oh dear.
So I've really been pushing myself, and I'm really proud, that I made it through and everything went okay.
We're very happy that everything went okay.
Thank
So
you.
you were there last evening. There were some artists, firing shots at each other musically. I know some people were prepared for that. Were you sort of preparing for that too? That they might sing something about you?
It actually was, because when people heard that I was in the competition, the first thing they said was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl could sing." So I was actually looking forward to somebody throwing shots at me. I'm not the type of person to be throwing shots at people. That's not my style. But I'm surprised that nobody was actually focused on me. Everybody was so much focused on Samuel Madis, to be fair. And knowing Soca Monarch, that's what, they come out and they try to throw things at each other. And I'm just like in my little corner, just focusing on what I have to do. And that was it. That's not my style.
I understand last evening, while the other performers were on stage performing, you did not look at a single performance. You were in the dressing room all the time, away from everything until it was your time to go on stage. Why did you do that?
Even before the Soca started, when I got to the culture center, the chutney competition was still going on. But even that, I didn't want to see. I wanted to be in my own zone, because normally before any performance, I get extremely nervous. Like nervous to the point where I tend to forget everything that I have to do. It gets crazy, and I wanted to remain in a zone where I can focus on myself. Even though I was hearing a bit of what was going on, I didn't want to see anyone's performance, and I played like I wasn't even hearing it. I played deaf to it. I just wanted to remain in my zone and focus on what I have to do.
And it worked out pretty well for you.
It worked out for, yeah, it
Are you
did.
satisfied with the third spot?
Pardon?
Are you satisfied with third position?
As a newcomer in the competition, of course I am. As long as I'm on that podium, I'm good. And winning is a state of mind. My friend was actually telling me, in sports, when people compete, as long as they get on that podium, that's it. You don't care where you fall, as long as you get on the podium.
So has this given you like sort of a bit of an excitement to continue on in the Soca Monarch? Because as we mentioned, you started off in the Junior Calypso. You won the Junior Calypso Monarch title back in 2012. And you took a long break doing backup vocals for all the Monarchs over the years. and now you finally decided to step forward?
When I rebranded last year, one of the things that I wanted people to see is the different person that I wanted to show, like coming from Calypso and all of that. Yes, I love that part of my life. It brought me to who I am today. And rebranding means, coming different, being different, showing people different, and showing people that I can do different. So it definitely pushed me to do more. Next year, as long as I'm in the country, I'm definitely going to be going at it again. This one is just the beginning. So look out for me next year, Live Spear. And I'm actually working on a lot of music right now. So even though the competition is over, you're going to be hearing a lot from me and a lot more soca as well. I kind of like soca, and my song was more a bit on the groovy side. Like,
Yeah.
I love to sing. Singing is my thing. That's why I think I gravitate towards like Patrice Roberts and Kes and Voice and these artists that really sing their soca song. That's the type of person I am. Very subtle and laid back. So
What
I
took
think
you so long?
those came out last night.
What took you so long to jump in this competition? You've been on the reggae side for most of the past couple of years. You've been releasing a little reggae vibe every now and then. But why did you enter before?
Quite a lot of things. For me, I wasn't. One time I'm not ready. The next time maybe I'm too young. Like, maybe do I want to do it? Like, really, it's not your style. But once I decided that I'm gonna rebrand and do different things, I figured Soca Monarch is one way that I can show and prove to myself, because it's actually like the biggest stage in Guyana, Soca Monarch, and I accomplished what I initially set out to do, which was to make my mark on the stage and leave a memorable performance. And that is exactly what happened. Like, even though I didn't, get the crown, I saw some of the comments and I've been getting messages and stuff, and all they could talk about was the performance, the vocals and everything. So I am pretty much content with that, and it's just going to push me to do more and better myself.
I know you probably went home feeling mighty good because there were
Yeah.
some monarchs that you left behind. You sang back up for Jomo, you sang back up for Malo when he was in the competition, you sang back up for Brandon when he was in the competition. You were doing back up for them, and now you left all of them behind and you placed third. What was that feeling like for you?
Um, you know what? I am glad that I did, come up ahead of them, but at the same time, I'm grateful for their contribution to the arts as well. I know especially Jomo, he's been doing this for a very long time, and he actually paved the way for people like us. And one thing I love about him is his consistency. He's one of the artists that has been so consistent over the years, whether it's soca or not. Every day, all through the year, he's been consistent. So they actually pushed me, to want to do this. And I don't think they feel any way about it, that I just came and just grabbed the spot in front of them. I would like to think that they're happy for me,
Yeah.
but in a good spirit of music and stuff, I'm actually grateful for the job they've been doing. And I must say congratulations to everyone. Even though I didn't see any of the performance, I know that everyone went out there and did their best. So congratulations. And I must say Diana Chapman, for the past couple of years, this has been a male-dominated field. And the females really stood up and out this year. So Diana, congratulations to you. We took it to the next level. And we showed them fellas something. I ain't gonna lie.
So you're just not involved in singing, as you mentioned at the top of the interview. You're also involved in some modeling too. Tell us about
Oh
that.
yes, I've been singing, I've been modeling, I've been dancing, I've been doing everything way before I actually started singing. And now it just all complements each other. So, you get some nice shots for your portfolio and things. Things happen. That's kind of like things, like the things.
Well, I know you got to get back to your photo shoot. So I want to really thank you for joining us. And I want to wish you all the best moving forward. You've got a beautiful voice. We
Thank
enjoyed the performance last evening. And, we're going to look forward to more great things to come from Nikita.
Thank you very much. And I just have to
Before
say,
you go, you got to sing piece of that song for us, by the way. But continue.
which song? Which
My
song?
heart. I can't sing it.
Oh,
You got to at least help me.
inside your belly. Hey, but I want to stay right here.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm so afraid of tomorrow. As the world through your eyes I see. So many graduates from UG, but no job, no future they see. So many dropouts lying on the road. So many gunmen dead on the road. So many want to be like Feynman or a kingpin like Raja Khan. My mama is so much trouble I see. I want to stay here in your belly. Oh yes, my sweet mother, yes. A lot of things I cannot forget. Oh yeah, my sweet mother, I refuse to move and I say it loud. Mama, I don't want to be born.
I love that song. It always raises my pores because it was such a beautiful song with an unborn child telling you, listen, if that is what exists, I don't want to come into this world. And
Yeah,
you won the Junior Calypso Monarch with that.
yes, that was 2010.
2010.
Yep,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
got them
first.
big.
That was my second time in the junior competition. The first time I entered in 2009, I got third,
Uh-huh.
and then went back in 2010 and I won.
Yeah. Beautiful song. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
Tunisia, for being here with us. Any parting words?
Of course, I must say thank you to each and everyone for supporting me, especially those who voted online. We had the online segment of the competition. So thank you so much to everyone who contributed towards my presentation last evening. The names are so plenty. I'm going to make my official post. I haven't even mentioned anything as yet about the competition on my Instagram or anything because I've been a bit busy today. Thank you. And to my sponsor, the Hola Smith family and the Kuru Kuru Community Farm Project. Thank you so much for coming through for me. Just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations to all, and you're definitely going to be seen. Thank you for
Thanks a
having me.
lot, Tunisia. Best wishes again.
Thank you.
Well, that was Tunisia, the Freitas. We want to wish her all the best. She's going to continue doing great things. And we, of course, look forward to seeing more great things from Tunisia, the Freitas. So, Tunisia, the Freitas placed third in the competition last evening. Coming in fourth was the veteran in the competition, 4-time Soca Monarch of Guyana. He's been singing for years. Been singing with EC Connection back in the days, Cross Color Records, Byron Lee, the Dragonaires, Jomo Primo. And he was going for his 5th crown last evening. Then there was a prayer, and Jomo was left inside his house. So here was Jomo Primo and his performance from last evening, encouraging us to stay inside.
What I say? You see, the party in the house, cause they can't go on the road. So when my sham is fair, carnival can is me a party in the house, cause I can't go on the road. So when my sham is fair, carnival can is fair. Don't tell me I cannot drink and I cannot wine. I will do what I want, cause this house is mine. Don't tell me I cannot put me and not me dancing for wine. Watch my wife in front of me, and the sweet woman behind her inside my house. Cause I can't go on the road, say but my sham is me. Carnival can is me, I'm party in my house. Cause I can't go on the road, say but my sham is me. My sham is me, I don't put on the costume like I out on the road. When we rocking me and I'm jumping up like I inside a van. Turn up the speaker loud, make it want to burst. If Corona thing that she can't stop me when she out alone. I inside my house, cause I can't go on the road. So but my sham is me, carnival can, party in my house. If I can't go on the road, my sham is me, carnival can is me. Good night, Soca Monarch. Good night, Guyana. Now let me say something. I know you want to be in the stadium. I know you want to be in the national park. But we can't. Because there's a serious pandemic. And we have to be responsible. So even if you're in your house, it doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy yourself. I know inside is not for we. But right now, inside is the best place to be. So at the count of 4, I want you to clear the chairs.
I want you to move the curtains. Get yourself in position. I want your uncle, auntie. Get in position. Get in position. How the woman in front and the man behind. Let's go. Start the push back. Push back. Go back. Go. Go back. Go back. Go. Go back. Go. Push back. Right now I said. Go to back. Go. Stop. Put your hand on the steering wheel. If they lock down the country, we still we could pretend to drive in the house because we know we're safe. So get ready to drive. And Mr. 1, ready to 2, ready to 1, 2. Start to drive. Let me go. Start to drive. Lead. Drive on, drive. Drive on. Drive on. Lead. If you're in the kitchen right now, if you're in your bathroom right now, if you're in your living room, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a jump. I take the coach. This house is we on. Everybody, let's go. 1, 2, start the jump up. So let me go. Jump on, jump. In the yard. In the living room. Go, jump. 1. You know home all the time, but your waistline must work. So at the count of 4, I want us to take a wine. I want you to take a wine in your house. 1, starter, 2, starter, in the house, 1, starter, wine on low.
Wine up, 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 wine up.
Starter, wine, so let me go on up.
Wine up, wine up, wine up,
Wine,
wine up, wine up, wine up, wine up.
it can't stop me, wine. What a party and then me out. Can't go on the road. Wash out this way. Carnival, party and then me out. Can't go on the road. Wash out this way. Carnival, party and then me out. Can't go on the road. Wash out this way. Carnival, hit me out. Can't go on the road. Come this way. Low, very low. We have a serious pandemic, and I want to send this message to you. If we don't be responsible, we will not have a 2022. Now let me say this. Condolences to all those who lost someone due to COVID-19. Even if you're in your house, you could still enjoy yourself. Don't put your family at risk. Don't put yourselves at risk. We could do this as a country. Put your hands in the air. Cause we inside the house. Upstairs. In the kitchen, in the back. Let's go. 1, on the party in the house. Cause I can't go on the road. My son is Carnival can't miss me a party in the house. If I can't go on the road, everyone, enjoy yourself. Party.
And that was Jomo Primo, 4-time Soca Monarch of Guyana. I was going for his 5th crown last evening, and we've got Jomo joining us live. Jomo, like to pray for you.
6.
What's going on?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm actually,
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually happy and excited still.
How was the competition last night?
The competition was amazing. You know what I mean? Fourth place is just a way to say that okay, we got to keep you so that you can come back next year.
So is this the end of the road for Jomo Primo and the Soca Monarch?
There's no end of the road, basically, because As me look, I didn't as Nikita. I want to say I love her so much, Diana. Big respect to
Uh-huh.
Diana and Nikita. Knowing from the first song that she did with the way with it when we was at Cross Color, where we did the medley, and she was just young and going to Christchurch and coming and singing in she uniform and stuff like that. But there's no ending in something that you were created to do. You know what I'm saying? For me, fourth place is just a way of saying that you got to be here because that's the
Hmm.
way the competition rises all the time. That's how somebody have something or somebody to look up to. Because if you look at it, like every single competition, they always have to come out a freestyle and put your name and sing about Jomo or say something about Jomo. You understand? But like for me, we have to be more creative when it comes to that. Remember, quality and class of soca music and soca monarch is not about disrespecting or these kind of things, right? Or creative. This was like long ago. People keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. But for me, we need to evolve from that. You know what I mean? So for me personally, it was an awesome competition. Congratulations to all the winners. But for me right now, I'm winning today. Right? And the reason why I say that, Garden, I'm winning today is because it is one of our biggest wins as a British Bible.
Uh-huh.
Everybody have to be in the house or the yard. So my message, and we're still winning today. You know what I mean? So big up to Samuel, big up the competition. We're still winning today. And until COVID disappears, we will still be winning because of the message and the content of the song.
But Jomo, you have four crowns. I just want to get my mic set properly. You have four crowns in your head. You've been doing this. You've been doing this a long time, and so folks might want to say, come out on top. What brings you to the competition still? What motivates you to still be a part of the competition?
What brings me to the competition is the motivation, right? The motivation and the arts. Like Nikita said, I've been consistent. I'm one of the artists that you always hear about right through the year. Because after Soca Monarch, nobody ain't bringing out no song, nobody ain't singing nothing, nobody ain't doing nothing. Remember, we have an industry still. So most of the success have been coming because of my sacrifices and my contribution and commitment to the industry. And that is the reason why. Now, yes, I could come up to the competition. But for me, basically, it's not to prove a point that you could come back and you could get uh, a fourth place and come back and win because I've done that already. And I want to say this clear. Most of the things that I've done in competition, you're still seeing the same things. We like the sneakers, and even in performances, you're seeing things that already have been done before. You understand? So if you want the art to grow, you have to be creative. You understand me? Like me, I came this year not with light up or nothing. I came with a song that actually is encouraging people to stay in their homes because that is what we're in a pandemic, and that is what people are preaching right now. The government is closing down places and trying to get people in their house so that we could get rid of the school so that we could get back to normal, right? So I feel for me, the song is winning in reality because that is the reality we are
Yeah,
living in today.
yeah, but
And that is my contribution.
but Jomo, this is a Soca Monarch competition. It's not a Calypso Monarch competition where social commentary is important. So while I understand your need to get this important message across, people still wanted that party vibe, that vibe that is going to last after the pandemic, that vibe that they'll be jamming to, that sort of trample it vibe, that sort of tribute vibe that they can continue moving with. And you know, um, some persons might say they didn't get that from you, that your performance last evening was just the average Jomo. You didn't bring that competition game with you last evening. So what happened?
Well, basically, basically nothing happened. I basically was partying in my house. You understand? And I didn't stray away from the point I was making. I didn't stray away from a message. Now I know it's not about social commentary, but it's still a
Hmm.
song that you could party to. The only thing about it is that this song was prepared for MASH, and the competition came after MASH. So that is the reason why you have MASH Can't Miss Me and Carnival Can't Miss Me. But if you take those two words out of it and you put Fed Can't Miss Me or the Vibe Can't Miss Me, you will have a sound that could play on all the time. You understand? The groove is there, the vibe is there, and I know it's not a calypso or whatever the case may be, but my point is right now we all are trying to keep each other
Yeah.
safe. We're all trying to tell you about social distancing, wash your hand, brush your teeth, and all these kind of things. So for me, it was about giving you a song that you could party to in your house, right? That you wouldn't miss that party vibe, right? So
Hmm.
for me, it was just me partying in my house and doing everything that I can in my house. So I'm not really worried about the outcome. I know what the outcome would have been from early. My thing was just to get the message out. And that is the message from tomorrow and every day that people are going to be preaching. Even today, when it's one of our biggest festival, we still got to be inside. So even if you want to say it's a social commentary song, it is the reality that we have to be in the house. We got celebrate park when we house. We got party we house. We got watch Soca Monarch in the house. So it's the message. So regardless of how you want to put it, it is the reality. And you can't tell me that you can't drink. You tell me you can't wine. You can't tell me you can still do all of those things in your house.
You got to do all of those things in your house, and of course, you performed last evening in the competition, and people enjoy the performance. But there are also the concern, Jomo, that over the past 3 4 years, your groovy vibe they've been sounding similar. And I think a lot of people wanted something different from Jumo because you go back to tribute, pa, 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 you go back to the other one, trample them,
Yeah.
and now this comes with so people are singing though they're different songs, but they're getting that one sort of vibe, and they wanted to hear something more from Jumo. What would you say to those persons?
Well, what I would say to those persons, you see, I'm a person that goes with the times and the reality of the situation. When I sing Trample It, that was in 2020. And in 20, 2019 was the time when I got food again. So, because of the time that we're in and the situation we're in, I decided to do this song. You know what I mean? So it was just my contribution to the pandemic and what is going on, but at the same time, we still could enjoy ourselves in our homes and have a song with a vibe and a groove. You know what I mean? I think I could have come with a power song and I could have come with ours, but I wasn't feeling that at the time. I think I had to send a message and I had to give a message and let people know that listen, this thing is serious and this is what we have to do, and we still gotta try our best to enjoy ourselves, and that is basically why I did this.
Yeah, and of course, we're talking for those persons who are now joining us. This is your Soca Monarch review. We're talking now with Jomo Primo. He's a fourth-time Soca Monarch of Guyana. Of course, he's been singing for years, taking you way back to EC Connection. One of the best songs I ever heard coming out in Guyana. And I didn't even think people probably could remember the words. It was when he was with EC Connection. Do it, raise it up. Yes, I ever do it.
Hands on it. If you're finding something, just pick your hands. I know the in the air, put up something.
In
In
the
the
end,
air,
forgot
wave
to
up
something.
something.
You
Yeah,
need
put
to
up
do a remix
something.
of that song. You need to
Yeah,
do
but you know
a
what? You know
remix of
what?
that song.
You know what, Garden? It's a blessing to know that all those years before I joined Byron Lee, to being relevant even now, to still being one of the top artists in the country, being consistent from doing music, even when others have dropped out and left and come back, I've always been there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to like me, but love the commitment, love the respect to the industry. You understand? Love that, there's someone at least standing up for a industry that nobody really recognize. You understand? So I wanna big up to Sammy, and I want him to understand something, right? I know that you've won the competition this year, and you might be going through the pressures of whatever situation is. But the thing is that it's not to differentiate from what you do. You understand? And this platform, you came, you sang, you did what you had to do, and you do your job, and you did it well. So I respect him, and I have a lot of love for his music. So I wanna big him up right now on the live and say, yo, big up yourself. And the thing is, every year people come and people sing about Jomo's. Everybody got called Jomo name in the mouth, right? But I don't have to do that. You understand? Calling me name doesn't really give you points. It started from crazy years back in the day. And up to this day in 2021, you're still hearing the same thing. We have to be more creative than that. And I've seen stuff in Soca Monarch that I've already done before. Like last year when I did Trampoline. I came out of the doctor's office, I was on a bed, and I saw the same thing this year in the Soca Monarch. I saw the light up shoes, and I had a light up suit when I did fireworks. You understand? So for me, it's like looking at it, it's just people bringing back the same things that have been done before. And I'm proud to say that I'm glad that I was a part of Soca Monarch, and I've been always the name or something to look up to. And I'm grateful for that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But in
You know,
order to
they,
go ahead.
they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So maybe, these artists, they've seen you in the competition, they've seen you perform for these years. And many of them, we just had Tanisha the Freitas on, and she spoke about how supportive you have been over the years. And she always bigs you up and stuff like that. I think that's one of the things that they probably are, they like what you've been doing over the years. And so they want to do something that looks like what Jomo would do.
And that is why I'm so proud. You know what I mean? I am proud because I've came into the game, into the competition, and I've built. You understand? And one thing, everybody on this life, you may not be a fan of mine. You may be a fan of somebody else. One thing people could say, Jomo has always been consistent. Jomo has always been a name that people could look up to, that people could always sing to. I'm not perfect, you understand me? But I'm proud of my contribution to the arts, and I will forever be continue until Father said Jomo can't do it no more. You understand? That is when I'm going to stop. But as long as I have ideas and musical melodies, I'm going to continue doing this. You understand? And fourth place is just fuel. You understand? It's just fuel to the jet, because that is how it is. You can't let these things bring you down. There's a competition, but in the streets right now, we are living the reality of staying in your house. You
Yeah.
understand me? So that is what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, but Jomo, don't you think there comes a point when an artist who's done as well for themselves as you have done, uh, and you've performed as well as you have done, uh, there comes a point when you be the guest artist on a Soca Monarch and not be in a competition with a group of people who, when you started, these were people writing common entrance. And now they're in this competition, not only a part of the competition with you, but they're also edging you out and leaving you inside your house. When comes the point when you say to yourself, listen, I want to mentor these young artists. I want to mentor the next Jomo Primo. I want to mentor the next Adrian Dutch, and I want to mentor the next soca star in Guyana. So I'm going to take a back seat. I'm going to open my studio to them. I'm going to mentor them and still feel that same form of gratification. That look, I've done my job, I've done well, and you leave on a high. Hello? I think we just lost Jomo. I was trying to. Hopefully he comes back, and I think the video on his end got stuck. So we're going to try to get back to Jomo. Hopefully he comes back pretty soon. and he can continue on with the conversation. Yeah, but that is the thing. I think Jomo continues to do well for himself in the competition. I think he wanted to get to five and bow out at 5 crowns, which is what a lot of people would want to do. Um, I think he's trying to come back in. But Adrian Dutchin also tried the same thing. And if my memory serves me right, he might have got stuck on 4 too. Jomo, you're back with us? All right. Trying to get you back in now.
Go ahead.
You're not seeing you too clear. I think you might got to put on your video at your end. We're hearing you, but we're not seeing you. Like you're really there inside the house. Okay, we're gonna try to make contact with Jomo in just a bit. He's trying to come back in to have continue the conversation with us. Yeah, but that's the thing. When do you bow out? When do you hang up the glove? It's something. It's a discussion nobody wants to talk about, but it is something that one will have to eventually face. And so hopefully Jomo joins us back and we can continue on that conversation. So we in the Soca Monarch last evening, in case you're now joining us, Samuel Madis, we had him on earlier. He came out on top as the Soca Monarch of Guyana. Placing second was Diana Chapman. We were trying to get Diana on the show today. We missed her, so we'll have to do that some other time. Placing third was Tanisha de Freitas Nikita. And placing fourth was Jomo Primo, the 4-time Soca Monarch of Guyana. I want to switch gears a little bit because there was also the Chutney Monarch taking place last evening. And so I want to give you a taste of the Chutney pieces. This is the winning Chutney song I'm going to bring up right now, coming out of Kevin Satrahan Singh, My Baby Guyana, and he is the new Chutney Monarch of Guyana. Here is Kevin Satrahan Singh.
Yeah, Mom. Are you serious? You're really telling me that you want me to leave here? It's really tough for me. It's something tough. But I'll think about it. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right there. Forever Guyana. This is my country. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right there. Forever Guyana. Shock these strings. Here we go.
Believe and go.
I will always come back home to you. Oh my baby Guyana, I love you for life. Guyana, I love you for life. Oh my baby Guyana, I love you for life. Oh my baby Guyana, I love you for life. I love you Guyana.
So there, that is the new soca, the new chutney, the new chutney monarch of Guyana, Kevin Satrahan sing, doing my baby Guyana. I'm very happy that he's won. He's a young artist. I think it was his first time in the competition. So congratulations to him. But were the judges at another show? What was going on inside that National Cultural Center? I think he should have been in the top five, even the top four or the top three. I did not have him to win the Monarch at all. That was a total surprise. And so he got first with Oh My Baby Guyana, I Love You for Life. Placing second was last year's champion Bunty Singh, and he came this year with his piece Treat Your Woman Right. And Vanita Willie placed third in the competition, and I thought that was really unfair to Vanita Willie. But I've been a judge before, and I wouldn't want to question the judge's decision, but I think sometimes some judges get caught up in, oh, they're singing a nice patriotic song, oh, they're singing a song with a nice message, and so they score them high on that. But I think Vanita Willie, the poor girl, brought her A game last evening. Everything was on point. And I was a bit stunned that she was left in the third spot. I would have been quite okay if she was second, beaten by a point or two. But what were they judging last evening to leave Benito Willie in third spot? I was disappointed by that, to be quite honest. And I usually don't come out and say I'm disappointed by the decision of judges. I'm not sure what they were judging on their score sheet, but I have an idea based on competitions in the past that I've judged and knowing how the score sheet is set up. And I'm still trying to figure this one out. What competition were they looking at? Shout out to the winner, shout out to the first runner-up. But what happened, judges? What really went on there? But the judge's decision is final, so that's that. But that one just completely stunned me. I'm going to show you why. Let me bring up Benita's performance last evening. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I'm going to accept that. But I thought she brought out a good performance. To me, the best song in the competition, in my humble opinion, was Sonia Ragbir, I think her name is, from Berbice. Her song was Tula. But Sonia is new to competitions, and she appears new to stage performances too. So while she has a beautiful voice and she can really sing, she's not an on-stage performer. I think she's got to work on that. So after I saw her performance last night, my favorite song in the competition, I was like, oh, she's not going to win this crown. But then I saw Vanita's performance, and I was like, well, Vanita might walk away with this without Pua. And so here is Vanita's performance from last evening. This song is called Madula Hin in the Chutney Monarch. So I'm going to bring it up now, and I'm going to come back and continue talking about it. But this is Vanita Willie and her third place performance.
Bring the sindur, bring the tassa, roll it, roll it. Trust in my roll, bring the poor champion in dunia. Nani bring me Jamaica, Didi bring me Kangana. Nani bring me Jamaica, Didi bring me Kangana. Just me like a dula, me dula ha, come marry me. Just me like a dula, me sasugala, come marry me. Me dula ha, come marry me. Me sasugala, come marry me. Me dula ha, come marry me. Me sasugala, come marry me. Nani bring me Jamaica. Ay, shake your waist. Seven steps we take together. Oh, you'll be my partner forever. Bring the bottle, bring the spoon, beat the table, pass the tune. Seven steps we take together. Oh, you'll be my partner forever. Beautiful memories we go make. Oh, memories we'll never replay. Honey, bring me Jamaica, Didi, bring me Kangana. Just me like a dula, me dula ha, come marry me. Just me like a dula, me sasugala, come marry me. Aha, tassa. Whether you're in your living room, your bedroom, come out, Guyana. Held that waist for me, right? Shakti, on the count of 4. Let me go. 1, get ready to move. 2, get ready to move. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me tassa, let me nasagara. Bidi chutney soca, nani bring me dulaha. Give me tassa, let me nasagara. Bidi chutney soca, nani bring me dulaha. Bring the bandit, bring the sindur, bring the tassa, roll it, roll it. Trust in my roll, bring the poor champion in dunia. Man, woman, respect one another. Oh, know your promises to each other. Bring the paper, bring the pen, choke the bamboo, blow the shell. Man, woman, respect one another. Oh, know your promises to each other. Celebrate this life with your partner. Oh, live life with love, joy, and laughter. Nani bring me Jamaica, Didi bring me Kangana. Nani bring me Jamaica, Didi bring me Kangana. Just like a dula, me dula ha, come marry me. Just like a dula, me sasugala, come marry me. Me dula ha, come marry me. Me sasugala, come marry me. Me dula ha, come marry me. Me sasugala, come marry me. Nani bring me Jamaica.
Listen, that is a winning song. That was a winning performance from Vanita Willie. And for those of you who might not know, she's telling the story of an Indian bride, a Hindu bride, preparing for her wedding. So that's why you hear she tell you bring the pandit, bring the decorations for her hands. And she's saying, dress me like a dulahin today, which is the Hindu bride. Because Medulla, the groom, is coming to marry her today. Beautiful song, beautiful story. And it will last forever. That song is going to be at every Indian wedding for the next 40 years. Because it's something people can relate to. I still don't know how she win anything. That's why I'm saying the judges who were there must have been paying attention to, oh, we like this patriotic song. It's sung good, or this song has a serious message. Nothing's wrong with that. But you gotta judge everybody equally. And I just thought, in my humble opinion, that Benita should have done so much better. The costumes on point, the dances on point, the stage on point, the voice on point. She dressed like a Dula hen today, but the judges, the Dula ain't turn up. Aye. I got Tony joining me now to talk some more about what we saw last evening. Ron was actually inside the National Cultural Center. So I'm going to bring him up here. Mr. Tony, good afternoon. We know you stock sports. Don't come here, Ro. But the GFF. And we're going down with them and the Jaguars. We talking soca over here. How you doing?
I good, man. It's a pleasure. Good
Listen,
afternoon.
were you there to watch the Chutney performances? Let's start with that.
Yeah, well, I ain't no big fan of, well, I am a fan, but I thought Vicardi and them was actually in the competition, so I wanted to hear.
You hear
I
the
went
singing with Johnny, you hear the singing with Johnny Walker. You say you got it.
No, I like the song, but then I actually went to see them perform. But you know, you were right. So at the end of it, I asked somebody, I said, hold on, how this girl ain't win? Cause this song, I know this song being playing a lot. I didn't even know it was a Guyanese chutney song. I thought it was one of the chutney music from Trinidad. And then, you know, somebody explained, whatever they explained as to why they didn't win. I was like, okay. But
that's it.
I could tell you though, I was checking the live on Facebook on the ministry's page just for the comments because some of the comments were hilarious. But I couldn't, you know, stray away too much from the performance because it was rather electrifying in the culture center last night. Them artists go on like this culture center, the pack of people, and they performing in front of all them thousands of people jumping up and screaming the name last night in the culture center. It was something amazing to watch and experience. There had some tears that were shed last night too. People well and cry up when they come off the stage because what might have seemed as though it was, you know, well done on stage. A lot of it didn't go according to plan for.
Didn't know what went wrong behind the scenes. You know,
behind the scenes, like a lot went wrong. Like some lighting effect that they actually practiced and wanted didn't come into their performance. Some fog didn't come in on time. People cry, blame the song man, and it was a whole back and forth as well. So some, tears were shed because, for example, like Diana had a part in her performance where she said she's going to go to the screen to relive some of the memories or whatever, and the video never came up. And remember before Vanilla's performance, there was a delay because they had to get, I think Borch insisted that they get the video right before she went in and performed because it was part of her performance. So it was a lot that persons didn't see that went on behind the scenes that, you know, really and truly showed how much work actually went into having, putting on the event last night.
And that's the thing. I don't think people realize all of the artists, and that's why I always wish all of them well and congratulate them. They put a lot of work in. Like I heard that that first performer, Tropical, during his performance, he spoke about the fact that, you know, he didn't get any support from the business community, one or two friends,
he was like,
a little something.
I ain't got no support, but wait, hold on, that one or two people that chipped me up 5,000 here and there, like.
But that is the reality. Many of them, you know, they invest a lot into these competitions. The costumes alone, you know, they got to put that together.
One of the things I saw somebody complain, "Oh, we never had this Soca Monarch results so fast." So, and I explained to somebody, like, listen, I was sitting right around the judges area, and what they did, they just after every performer, they had someone collecting all the sheets, and then they went over to a computer and just input everything on the system. At the end of the night, you know, it would have been tabulated on the spreadsheet. And I even joke, I said, by this spreadsheet thing, it bring a lot of problems in this country. Spreadsheet,
you know, right? The big man in Guyana. But listen, I thought it was a good show. And I mentioned on Facebook today, congratulations to the ministry and the people who organized it in the back, who plotted everything together. I thought the video work and everything, for those of us who were watching from home, the video work was pretty good. Somebody like Vanita Samuel Madis and Mika, see whoever edited the man do some quick mix there, that you got to know the song to do those mixes on every beat. So they did well. But the bands, congratulations to the Heatwave band that did the Soca Monarch and Shakti String that did the Chutney Monarch. The bands were on point. They sounded good. Like you at the same place, Jomo. Jomo, you getting the internet from who? Think we lose you there, Ral. You good?
Yeah, well,
Okay, we're gonna try to
no,
see if we can get Ral up. Oh, you're back? Okay, we're gonna try to see if we get Ral back with us in just a bit where he's trying to sort it out. But yeah, the band did the two bands did a really good job last evening. So I'm very very happy about that. We're trying to get Quasi Ace to join us too. He was also watching the competition last evening. So we're gonna try to get Quasi Ace to join us. But I thought the bands did a really really good job last evening, and so we want to wish them the best. I think sometimes we forget the bands that they're in the background, they're doing the good music, and so they really pulled it off last evening for all of the performers. Even if there was something that went wrong musically, from watching the TV set and listening to the vibes, I don't think people could have picked that up easily. So congratulations to them for that. Congratulations to the ministry again for really bringing everything together, and the performers, of course, who brought their A game out last evening. We're gonna think about Tony's popping back in. I said you at the same place, Jomo Deral. You back with us? You gone back there.
why in
You keep breaking up there, all. Okay, I'm gonna try to get Raul in just a bit. Still trying to get Quasi Ace on. Hopefully, he signs in before we sign off. But again, there were two good competitions last evening, and so best wishes to the two winners. I think moving forward, it's going to raise the bar, and we've got so much good talent in this country, and I don't know if people are afraid to come forward. They're intimidated by others, but I keep telling them, come forward. I was surprised and disappointed that we did not see more artists from my hometown, Linden. Lil Calvin should have been in the competition. He would have done exceptionally well. Mr. Copeland should have been in the competition. He would have done exceptionally well also. Here you're back there, you are. You good? You hearing us clearly now?
he network. He networks. Yeah, yeah, got to go.
All right, good. So we
So,
were having a
in
chit chat.
case people wonder, I've been covering. Yeah, yeah. So I was telling someone, I've been covering about the Soca Monarch. Even though I do sports, I do entertainment as well, and I've been doing the Soca Monarch for just about 15 or 17 years, about 15 years. 15 years, and I've been back and forth since then. In between then, last night was probably one of the best Monarch that I've ever, one of the best Soca Monarch ever for me, in the sense that I brought out a bit more creativity, and it showed that the artists adapted through the camera, and ensuring that their performance were rather invigorating and not boring during the 5 minutes. In fact, if let me just say this, Samuel Madis. So my buddy Avinash Ramzan and I ideally Samuel Madis's song for his performance.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the stadium and we introduced the song. It's a big cricket match coming up, and you hear the stadium, and Avinash was Avinash. And after they changed the time of the competition, he did to use that performance. So we're telling him to post it online. Yeah, so that was the original intro for his performance at the Culture Center, ideally. But if I must say, for me, the second and third place could have gone either way. But the funny thing is, watching back the performances now when you play them earlier, it was a tough call for the judges to decide who was second and third. Very, 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 very tough for the judges. For Jomo, I was. Pardon?
That was about to explain what people don't realize with these
Mm,
competitions, how they're judged. They go for the median score. So
mm,
let me explain this to the folks who
mm,
might not know. Let's say you have 9 judges or 7 judges. So they put
mm.
forward their scores out of 100. Most times it's out of 100. Uh,
Yeah.
in some cases less. But they put forward their scores, judge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When they bring those scores in to the person doing the tally up, what they do, I'm not sure if this was done last night, but this is how it's usually done. What they
Mm,
do to level the playing field, they remove the top score. So they move the score, whichever judge give the highest score to the artist, that is canceled out. Whichever judge give the lowest score to the artist, that is canceled out. So they remove those scores, those 2 scores from those judges, and they then add up the
mm,
remaining 5 judges, the median, the
mm.
middle scores. What has happened though over the years is that when an artist performs well, it happened with Jomo one year, it happened with Adrian, and it happened, I figure, last evening with Samuel Madis. Because the performance is so good and of such a high standard, is that you have
High
multiple
scores are
judges scoring them high. So that puts that person at a good advantage because if you have 3 judges giving you 100 out of 100, they can only cancel one of the 100s.
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And the lowest score might be 98.
Mm,
So they remove 98 and they leave with 4 out of 100 and a 99. And so that
mm.
artist right away will emerge as the winner. And so I think that is something people need to understand.
Yeah.
And then of
But
course they might add in like the online scores. I think
yeah,
they had the
yeah,
radio
online.
stuff too going.
Mm.
And so they add in those two and then they come up with the winner.
But out of all the performances last night, to me, I was a bit disappointed in Jomo's performance. To me, like I expected more. Here's why. Like I travel a lot for sports and major sport events. It's like the opening for Cricket World Cup 2007 in Jamaica. Jomo was performed. Jomo opened. Actually, did a performance for Byron Lee. Was a lead singer. Went to some big event in London. There is Jomo mashing down the crowd. So over the years, and then coming into the Soca Monarch, it's like consistency. And I don't agree with him having to step away from the competition because I think he raises the profile of the competition once he's there. Because once there's no Jomo, um, and the song ain't really hitting, it's like, nah, not really feeling it for me. But like I wanted more of him, and like I had the same performance as if I had something that I've seen before from
Yeah.
him as well. So to me, that I was more disappointed in him. Vintage, I think did exceptionally well. Like I told you, I
Yeah.
said I feel like somehow or the other he was squeezed out. I expected him to be in that top 5. I had Vintage in my top 5.
Yeah, I had vintage there too.
Brandon came and like he went through the motion of the performance. He didn't have that Brandon Hardin experience that we know Brandon brings to the stage in the Soca Monarch competition.
You know what I
I was
think?
more,
You know what I
mhm,
think happened? Let me stop you there. I think what happened, this is just me thinking outside the box,
yeah,
but Brandon and Jomo
mm,
are really good crowd performers. They
mm,
know to work a crowd. They've done it in competitions before. Brandon, when he won the GT&T jingle competition, when he won the Soca Monarch back to back, Brandon knows to work the crowd. You know when you know when they put the band on hold and you over here and you
they
over here
not
because that's what they do. You
mm,
understand? They're performers, so they get that. I think what happened to them last night is they found themselves a bit off because there was no crowd to pull that vibe from.
but,
So what they
uh,
did, they
but
came and they just went through the motion of just singing.
if I could say this though, I mean, I was in the venue and, they had persons there supporting artists and, their backup
Mhm.
or whatever, and they were cheering. But after Samuel Madis finished performing, air was sucked out of the room.
Mm,
Like one more anybody else could come with to top his performance. So
yeah.
his performance was so invigorating, if I may. It's like when he finished performing, Culture Center erupted, everyone cheered, and then everyone looking at one another like, one next somebody could come to top this now.
We feel we
Diana, when she finished as well, she had that same, feedback from the people that were there, Nikita. So based on the reaction of the people in the culture center last night, everyone got up, cheered, shouted, screamed, and everything. for those three artists especially. So it was a matter of watching to see how they plays. So a lot of persons had Samuel as a favorite, but then I think that cemented after his performance. But then it was a toss up between, okay, so is it either Nikita or is it going to be Diana? So
Yeah. And I think
as to who should finish second or third.
yeah. I think
Go ahead.
what worked well for Samuel too is Samuel, before people realized there was going to be a Soca Monarch competition, that song was all over the place. He
Yeah.
marketed the song well. The song was out there before MASH, although we had no MASH. The song was out there. It was being marketed well. He used social media. He used the social media strength and pushed that song. And I think that is something a lot of other artists have got to learn to do. And I keep making that point. A lot of our artists don't have active social media presence. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be serious with competitions, you got to be present on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Even if you don't want to do it yourself because you don't have the time to do it. Hire somebody, some little brother, some little sister, or some cousin who can do things and keep that presence out
They're
there.
not hiring it from God. Some artists don't make, some of them artists didn't get no money for hiring nobody. I know how much some people scramble and to get sponsorship and so forth for this short space of time. And I think going forward, what the ministry could do, since they would probably cater for this event being virtual, is to some sort of monetary support, even if you choose a 10, some sort of support to say, okay, each person entering will have a 200,000 to help with their performance. I think it will go far away for some of the artists. Not some, in fact, every artist. So I think you should probably go into planning in the next budget, so you know, okay, fine, we budgeting for the next Monarch competition or whatever the case might be. We giving, be it Soca, be it whoever the case might be, 100,000 across the board to help prepare them for the competition.
You know what? I understand that, Raul. I understand that, but the Soca Monarch, up until 2 or 3 years ago, the Soca Monarch was exclusively sponsored by Anson McCall and Carol, and then they switched it over to 592, and they've been doing it by themselves. I think they've got to find ways of involving more of the business community, and the government can probably play a role in that. But I don't think, there was this argument before. I don't think you want the government putting its money into getting you ready for a competition. I think we got to get the private sector involved, and they can sign a contract. They can sign a contract with like Tropical, right? They can say, well, listen, Tropical. They can say, listen, Tropical, whichever the company is, B&B Hotel, we're going to do this for you. And as part of the contract, you'll sing a jingle for us. You're going to push this, you're going to push that for us. I think the private sector, they're going to play a bigger role, because in Trinidad and so, while these competitions might be supported to some extent, right? The private sector is what drives the competitions. I think we've got to reach that stage. You got some companies in Guyana, right? They get them millions of dollars.
Being the devil's advocate, though, Garden, in this case, right? Look, we don't have the kind of culture in Guyana. We see it in Trinidad, we see it in Jamaica, but we don't have that kind of culture in Guyana where
we got to change.
Really support the art.
But we got to change the culture, because we are putting
who changes the culture? So
I think we got to put pressure upon the private sector, because you know what? Here's what's happening, Ron. We get 4 companies we've been pulling all the energy from forever long. GTT, Digicel, Banks, and some McCall. Those companies was he fed up. There are companies out there, all right, that are receiving hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in government contracts, taxpayers' money to build this road, to fix the seawall. And you're saying that some of these construction companies can say, listen, out of this $2 billion or this 1.2 billion or this 900 million, because there's the figures is here when they're reading out those contracts. These companies too can play a role in supporting the art form, supporting the culture. We can't kill Banks, DIH, Digicel, GTT, and Anson McCall. They've been the goose laying the golden eggs for years. They get some goose rock and run out there fat, full of egg. And nobody putting pressure on that.
But here, this garden, we have a way in this country where things like sports and arts and the creative arts and so forth are concerned. A lot of persons go as far as what they look over to see how much government is investing and how much
Yeah.
government is putting things in place and policies. So while what you're saying is 100% true and accurate, on the flip side though, they look over to see, but they ain't even got time to put X, Y, and Z in place to deal with it. Why we must got time? But maybe there's something that it could bring a bigger picture, bring, the Minister of Culture with responsibility of culture and youth into the picture to host a symposium or something with some of these corporate
Yeah.
entities and the creative arts to find out how much they could collaborate. Because you're right, it can't be done by government alone. Neither can it be done by Ansem. For years, it's been the Carib Soca Monarch and just the Carib Soca Monarch until a couple of years ago they had some assistance elsewhere. But the other part is just since I in the media, I always know Nigel Warren running behind this event and Fan Simokal and so forth. And then Banks came in with the Groovy Monarch, and so they had some other support there as well. But it's
Mhm. And that's why Rod, I'm saying we've got to call them out more, because I think there are some companies that could be doing a whole lot more. You understand?
yeah,
They,
because
they
I mean,
once a year good deed could be the supporting artists in the Soca Monarch. It's 10
coming off
artists.
a pandemic,
They get 10 companies out there could easily do that.
yeah, but coming off a pandemic year where some of these companies themselves recently started catching the foot,
I'm just talking,
artists
Rod,
in before.
this has been the song for years. Me talking about the pandemic year.
No,
Me talking about the pandemic.
this
Forget the
year was
pandemic for a bit.
difficult. Yeah, but four artists came back that performed that were working overseas. Four.
Mhm.
They came back, they were working on cruise liners. So granted they've been out of a job for a year. Some of them now back
Yeah.
walking a little bus and taxi or doing whatever they need to doing to keep themselves and family afloat. But I think it was difficult now to ask them to go to the same corporate entity to get the kind of support. So I thought that they should have gotten at least a brace,
No, I agree with that.
somehow.
I agree with that. But I'm saying moving
Yeah,
forward, we
to get
can't
into
just
this
do that.
competition.
Yeah, moving forward,
This
and I
competition, I
think
think
what
we
they've
should
got
have
to
gotten
do,
a brace.
when I was on the
And I think
matrimony
going forward
committee
too, if
a couple of
going
years
forward,
ago, sorry.
yeah. But going forward too, I think if you look at the trend right now with we in Guyana, we ain't like that we ain't like that inside the house, like Jomo telling you how to stay. We like outside. So until we might see the year gonna come, the next year gonna come, we might probably still be in a pandemic situation in Guyana,
Yeah, hopefully not.
even
Yeah.
given the reaction now. To me,
Mhm.
the Soca Monarch this year was more supported virtually than it was, with an audience.
Yeah, because
Yes,
we
you might have
inside,
a couple
you know
thousand
where to go.
persons outside that according to Sammy. So
Say that.
outside that,
No,
yeah,
listen
but
to
I
me.
think next
Here
year,
the thing that was
yeah,
wrong. Because again, I go back to that point. Some of these companies, they've got to play a role. They got to showcase that corporate responsibility. Because I remember there's the Caribbean Airlines a couple of years ago. Caribbean Airlines had a big beef in Trinidad with the steel pan that they sponsor every year. There was a big problem because the steel pan wanted so much money and they couldn't give them that at the time. Then eventually they caved and gave them the money they were asking for. And I was talking millions of dollars. This is the same Caribbean Airlines that also admits that they make, well, not for the past year, but before the pandemic, they admitted that listen, Guyana is the cash
you're right.
base for the airline. They make the millions off of
It
Guyana,
was,
but you don't see that
but
same support that is given to Trinidad. You understand? Coming to Guyana from that particular company, and I think
not
that
just Trinidad alone.
they don't have to match it. You understand? But they can do a little
Mm.
better than what they're doing. When you hear them doing anything for mashes, giving away a ticket or giving away 2 tickets, and that's about it. I think a lot of
By the
companies, all these big construction
amount of
companies,
money that they
electrical
could pay to
companies,
travel Caribbean Airlines, they should have been supported indeed. They should have been a
they
bit more
gotta
supported.
step up.
I think
Companies
going
to step
forward
up.
though, I think going forward though, one of the things that this year had to me than the previous years were more quality entries, as in the songs. Also, this year you had the songs being played more regularly and so forth. So songs if I didn't know like the artist who is actually singing. I would not have known that the song is actually sung by a Guyanese or whatever. Some of the songs are
Yeah.
highly produced, like the chutney music that came out of Guyana over the last year, that literally took over the world by storm, and that came out of one studio, basically one studio in Guyana.
Hmm.
So I think kudos to the producers, really outdone themselves.
Yeah.
But disappointed that Sammy might not be in the competition next year, but I understand why he wouldn't be.
I
And I
think he's
was
gonna
telling
be
Sammy,
there. I think he's gonna
no,
be there.
if the Lord give him his calling, like he said, he's
I
gonna
think
be
the Lord
there.
is gonna talk to him.
But you remember jumping up to the
One,
ceiling? I
one
not
and two
one of
with the
the
start to the Lord.
You remember the song "Jumping Up to the Ceiling"? That was a
Yeah.
gospel, and everybody rocked with it for a long time. And then
We hear
sometimes you
nothing.
end up
We hear nothing else from Hido.
listen. Sometimes you end up party right garden, and the reggae segment come on, and then it's one big song in with us. I
Mhm.
can't be the only one. I said, what story is this? Um, you
But I think,
understand? But the DJ be mixing his music in.
yeah,
And, not like he put it out there for them to do it, but it's so good. It
yeah.
mix in, and I think the soca
As I
monarch.
said to Sammy, I think he's afraid of any more backlash from the Christian community. But I think he's going to be back in the competition next
Yeah,
year.
I don't think so, because to be in the competition next year, it means he has to be consistent in doing soca music, and I don't
You
think
gotta
that he's
be
a soca
no.
artist.
You gotta be consistent. I think Samuel Madis knows he's a good performer. He knows he's a good singer, and he has a following. And
Yeah,
if he
I
wakes up
mean, I'm
in
a fan. I
December,
listen to all of his music every
he's
morning.
gonna
This
do well.
my drive to work. Most mornings is my drive to work. It depends on the mood that I'm in. But I think that involved in the soca monarch really deserves kudos,
Hmm.
because you have to be there to really see how hard they work, and the people work behind the scenes to get a perfect, almost perfect product out to the general public.
Yeah,
And it took a lot. It was a lot of work, and I'm very proud of them, man.
yeah,
Very proud of them. I'm more
good.
proud of the artists, and the artists that actually some of them knowing that they didn't get in the support, but still went out there and did their best with the little support that they would have had, and really give a show. I would have wished if something was definitely off with Vanellope's performance for some reason or the other.
Vanilla had the wrong
She
song. Vanilla had the wrong song.
I don't know what happened this year. She brings
I
energy.
telling you.
No,
I
I
tell
don't
you, she
know.
had the wrong song. Listen, Vanilla has a song, and I said this to her before the competition, called Celebrate. Go look
Hmm.
for it on YouTube. Vanilla Celebrate. She brought it out this year. All day, all night, and all day.
Yeah, the song was good.
That
I hear it on the radio.
was the song she should have gone
Yeah,
into the
that's very true. I heard
competition
it
with.
on your show a couple
Yeah,
mornings.
if Vanilla had gone into that competition with Celebrate, 1, 2, or 3, she would have been there. She would have
Well,
been
I
the
said,
top three easily.
I tell him, I think it's Malcolm. I said, well, she ain't got a road march this year, so I ain't know what happened, because she's tear out the road
Yeah.
marches. So I
I
said,
think
well,
if she went in there with that Celebrate song,
mm,
that song was the perfect song for this type of competition. But she went something different. But I said to her, I said, "Yeah, you had the wrong song for this competition. You should have gone with that one." But I just listening to my ears.
well,
But
I
I
hope I hope next year the try to make it as virtual as possible, even though
yeah.
hoping that we could get some outside
Hopefully back
performances.
outside at the stadium or the park, wherever. But thanks a lot, Rob, for
No problem with that.
running in this. So thanks a lot for shooting again. We've been talking for 2 hours and 17 minutes of long gaff with the Soca Monarch review. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for watching this evening. By the way, this T-shirt, some people hitting me up about it. I bought this about 4 years ago or 5 years ago. The quality is really good. It's a young Guyanese out in the U.S. does this brand. It's called Captivated. So you can check him out on Instagram and on Facebook. Look for the Captivated brand. Captivated, 2 E's to the T. Captivated. Really good, really nice T-shirt. So this is just one. And if you look closely, for those of you, I'm going to bring the camera in. If you look closely, what they're asking, what they're talking about, what it says is it has all these different Guyanese sayings. Hope nothing ever crash this floor here tonight. You see some biwi, crapo, and various Guyanese slangs and so that we would say I think so, and they did it in the formation of the map of Guyana. So big up to Captivated. Really like this T-shirt. So enter my daily side live. It make a look slim too. So but that make Captivated. Also, there's another young Guyanese doing exceptionally well in the U.S. Demrock Clothing. Also look for him on Facebook, DEMROC. He's got really nice T-shirts, so I gotta order some stuff from him. He got some really nice Guyana T-shirts, and so he's based in Atlanta. I think he has a big store out there in Atlanta. So guys, especially those of you who might be in the U.S. or Atlanta, in the New York area or in Atlanta, you can make contact with him and get your Guyana T-shirts. Spring is here for those of you in the U.S. and Canada, and summer is coming. At least if you gotta go out, you can go out looking good. So check out Demrock. Check out Captivated. Young Guyanese doing well for themselves out there. Also, Signature. I see they did these Guyanese sneakers. The flag of Guyana. Check out Signature. Check out Quincy Solomon on Facebook. He owns the company, Sharon Solomon's brother. So they make really nice sneakers and slippers with the flag of Guyana. Really nice stuff. So also check them out. Give them a big up tonight. Yeah, so that was it. That was it. We had a good time chatting with you. Hope you guys. Somebody keep hitting me up. I think somebody trying to come in now. But I had a really good time with you guys. Looking back at the competition and talking about what we saw last evening and so. Oh, we have big up footballer with his Finish Line Express Delivery. I'll give you a big up. Finish Line Express Delivery, courier service. I'll give him a call. Oh, yeah, I should be sponsoring this thing. Nobody's sponsoring this thing, but yeah, I want to big up. You, the footballer. He can score no goal with the delivering. 226-9114, 226-9114, or 638-8795. Finish Line Express Delivery, courier service. 226-9114 or 638-8795. And once I give him that, I gotta big up the other company that is also doing something similar. Trying to bring up their numbers here. Where is it? Anyway, it's not popping up today here on my phone, but check them out. Check out these companies that are young Guyanese with their businesses doing exceptionally well. Big up to my sisters in London and my mom watching here. My mother just said she wants a T-shirt. She has to stay inside. She big. Where she want to go? She got to stay inside. Big up my sisters in London. Check out my sister Tracy. She's got really nice cheesecake. She does these really nice cheesecakes and different types of cakes. Look for TGI Cakes on Facebook. Check her out for all your fancy cakes, cheesecakes, and everything else up there in Linden. And if you're in Linden, I have another sister who owns a barbershop and salon thingy, Professional Cuts and So that's in Retrieve. Check them out on Facebook too. Giving them a big up too. Let me give you Reynald's company quick because he gonna message me in just a bit. He's got two companies though, and we gotta get Reynald on one of these weeks because he was a flight attendant with Liat, and when the pandemic started, of course Liat was grounded. He was stuck in Barbados for like 2 or 3 months. Then he got home and he started to open a delivery company, and so Cameron's Delivery it's called, and it's been doing pretty well. Cameron's Fast Carriers. Take the numbers down. 666-9505, 666-9505. They can do your shopping, bring your stuff for you, pick up your meals, everything else. And he's just recently opened another company, Cameron's General Services, your service expert. They're doing weeding, carpet shampooing, pest management, event cleanup, joinery, cargo transport services, camera installation, everything. Another really good service. A lot of young Guyanese have really made the best out of what we're going through and have opened really good services. So Let me give them a shout out for that. But thanks a lot, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I guess I'll for this Chinese light in here. I'll tell you, I like them Chinese tour. They get so bad for these lights. There's a light I bought in the US a couple of years ago. It wasn't giving me the look for these lights, and I went to the Chinese store for 5% of the price. They get too bad for this light here. The only fan blade light, and they're working good, they're cool, they're nice. Big up to the Chinese store when you're going to crack. They get some nice ones to shout about too. But thanks a lot, folks. I'm reminding you tomorrow, you've got to tune into the Facebook pages again, the Culture Ministry page, the TV stations, HJTV, I think NCN, NTN, MTV, and some other stations and they're going to be carrying the Junior Calypso and Soca Monarch. They're going to start off, I think, tomorrow afternoon around 3 o'clock. Then there's going to be the Steel Pan competition. That's taking place tomorrow too, virtual again. And then there is the Calypso Monarch competition wrapping up tomorrow evening. So it begins from early in the afternoon. Tomorrow's a holiday, of course. Today's the holiday. It goes over to tomorrow, Pagua. Happy Pagua to all our Guyanese brothers and sisters. Hope you enjoyed your Pagua day today. It continues tomorrow. You're going to be at home. Stay safe. Put on those face masks if you're going out. But, call over your family. Keep your distance and watch the competitions that are going to be on tomorrow. The Junior Calypso and Soca was actually yesterday. It was pre-recorded. So that one will pop up first. And I heard that the guy who won both Junior Calypso and Soca did an exceptional job. So I didn't get to see it, but I'm waiting to catch that tomorrow. So you tune in and also be a part of that. But thanks for tuning in this evening. Thanks for being a part of the big review. We're going to leave you with the Soca Monarch of Guyana. His name is Samuel Madis. Inside is not for we be going outside. Outside dark though. I stay inside in my house. Here is Samuel Madis. Thanks a lot, folks. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Put on those face masks and be good Guyanese citizens. I'm leaving you with Samuel Madis and stadium.
Inside is not for me. I wish we could have come here, but we can't. I wish that we had no fear. So we dance. Stuck on the inside, missing the outside, wishing freedom will come again. Cause inside is not for me. We got too much energy. So this what you gonna do for me. When you hear me on the radio, when you run out the outside, jump on the fence and climb up the tree, up on the roof and well, we break for life, yeah. When you put on your best, don't want to face, shake up the stress, shake up the place. You ready? 1, 2, 3, now time to be in the stadium. We in the stadium, we in the stadium, we in the stadium. I get to know, we in the stadium. We jumping up, we in the stadium. I get to know, we in the stadium. Don't you know that this is the stadium? I know we had a tough year, but we blessed that he promised that he would take care. Say less. Forget the problems, we not gonna worry, we gonna be great for the freedom. Cause inside is not for me, we got too much energy. So this what you gonna do for me. When you hear me on the I'm gonna run out your house and jump on the fence, climb up the tree, up on the roof. We grateful for life, yeah. I'm gonna put on your best, shake out the stress, shake out the place. 1, 2, 3, that's right. Yeah, we jumping out. Yeah, we praising high, misbehaving high. Yeah, we dancing high, winning high. Hey, listen. 1, oh no, COVID not stop your way. We go down in the yard, up on the fence, side of the road. Turn up your radio, bring it in the cup. We don't need none of that. Don't watch the face, take off the chest, take off the place and you know we jumping like, we praising like, we singing like, we praising like, my Facebook friends on here. There we go. S.C. Quimbo, Linden, Matica, S.C. Quimbo, let them. West Coast, East Coast, yeah. See, sign is not for wear. 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 But try your best. Check up the strength.